Yes.
One thing you ain't ever gonna do is try me.
That's great. So,
What's up, Tim?
do you feel like you play better in the starting lineup as opposed to coming off the bench? Is there a difference?
I do not care. I mean, I don't know. Like, you guys could probably dive into some stats and tell me something more than I know. I don't even really have that much of an answer for you, to be honest. Obviously, I started for a few years here. The first year that I ended up coming off the bench was 3 seasons ago, I think it was, and then ended up starting anyway because of whoever was injured that year. Mike might have been out a bunch, whoever it was. So I was used to starting more. Obviously, I don't care whether I start or not. When I was first coming off the bench, trying to find that adjustment of like where I can be aggressive, who I'm playing with, obviously minutes are different, all of that. Do I enjoy starting? Like, yeah, it's fun. It doesn't, but do I also enjoy coming off the bench with JC and jacking a bunch of threes and playing with him as well? Like, it's so two different styles. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an answer. I don't know what the statistical correct answer is, but I enjoy my role every night, almost, of doing kind of something different. I think, obviously, I know if one of the 4 guards is out, I'm going to start. Usually. If coach changed that, that's fine too. But if I come off the bench, I obviously just got to figure out a way to be aggressive and stay engaged. And like I said, that first time doing it was tough. Just trying to figure it out, not tough because I didn't want to do it. I'm probably talking way too much about it because I don't have an answer. So I'm trying to make something up as I go. But the real honest is I don't care. Obviously, I've just got to figure out how to be as aggressive and effective and all of that, whether I am starting or coming off the bench.
You mentioned it's a different challenge for you night after night, right? Like,
yeah.
Against the Pelicans, you're kind of battling on switches against JV. Tonight, you're guarding Dame for a lot of it, right? Like, so how do you keep up with that mentally? And then kind of like, I guess, let me ask you, which is more tiring too?
Man, both in different. That one possession with Dame, he ISO'd me like 8 times in a possession, and it's obviously different trying to stay in front of someone like that, that high caliber player, compared to trying to wrestle with a Lithuanian. I don't know what you guys enter word at own fear of him. He's got like 30 points right now. But yeah, obviously kind of just the same thing, just trying to figure out if it is that, then I've got to figure out how to get him off the boards, and if it's Dame, then obviously figuring out the best way to stay in front of him, contest his shots and make it tough. So both just as tiring. Not as tiring as 3 kids though, I'll give you that.
It's easy to say you're playing well when you're making shots, but what do you feel like you're doing when you're playing your best?
Creating for my teammates, getting them involved. I think regardless of what I shoot or defend or whatever, I think my best attribute or whatever is to get my teammates involved. Obviously, I know I've always been, I don't know why you would blitz me because I'm a pass first guy anyway. Like, I couldn't think of anything better than to pass the ball, especially to Rudy, to keep him happy. So, I think for me it's, the enjoyment for me obviously is playing the game in front of 20,000 people, but then getting JC the ball where he wants it, helping Don out so it's not so tough on him, or Mike, or getting Rudy the ball so he's not pointing up every possession to get an alley-oop. And I think that's where I can be really good. And then obviously shooting the ball, defending, doing those things. But I think obviously for me, the most enjoyment and the best thing I can do is those little things to help those other guys.
Is there a mental element as a player when
you're going to crack your head when you stand up too, so watch that.
Yeah. Would not be surprised. When you've got like a scouting report and it's got guys like Dame and CJ on it, and you obviously have to put a lot of attention, focus on them.
Yeah.
is there a mental element to kind of relaxing on a guy like Anthony Simons?
Not necessarily with, I mean, obviously we knew him coming off the bench is almost like not JC, because JC is on a different world in my personal opinion. But obviously he comes off the bench for them, is aggressive, can score like he did. Usually they start together, those two, and then one of them goes out and Simons comes in, and then those two are playing together. So you've always got two really good guards out there. Obviously for us was trying to control those two, first and foremost. Dame kind of first and foremost, and CJ like the smallest little, 1A, 1B, 1A, 1B. And then you've just got to obviously know what Tony Snell obviously starts tonight. I don't know if he started many games this year, but shoots at a high level. So it's just like knowing who you can close out to, who not. And I think we did a pretty good job tonight of making it tough for CJ and Dame, and then making Nurk battle down there a little bit with Rudy and trying to help him, and then kind of letting those other guys make plays. Obviously some of them made some shots and stuff. They made that little run, but I think overall we were pretty good with the game plan.
When it comes to them blitzing that pick and roll, what's kind of the process of finding Rudy in the paint?
I mean, for me, I think it's like the easiest coverage to be out. If obviously we've got an unselfish team, which helps as well. Sometimes you can find him yourself. I think I got him on the first one. The hedge wasn't super aggressive, which I don't know if that was the plan or not, obviously, but usually just being able to get off it to one of those first passes, the closest two guys to you, and then it's really up to them to hit Rudy, skip it, or swing to the guy right next to him, and that's just reading, obviously, the last line of defense, whether I think it was like Dame a lot of the time as well. Like you put those guys down there and have to make a decision on, do you want to give up a dunk to Rudy or a three to Bojan? So I think we did a good job with our spacing once we worked out those first couple of possessions, what they were doing with the hedge and that. We were able to get the floor space. I think, like I said, they made that one little run in the end of the third or start of the fourth, whatever it was. But a pretty good job to obviously kind of overcome it again with those two guys to do what we did defensively with them was impressive.
Quinn was talking about the importance of quick decision making in this offense. What are kind of the keys as to whether that happens or not?
I think it's for us, the players, to be decisive with what we're doing. Like if you play that in the hedge and I throw it to Rudy Gay, he's either shooting it, passing it, or driving it. Like we've had an emphasis on for years now on making like 0.5 decisions. You've probably heard coach talk about it and stuff, and I think this year we've been up and down with that. I think tonight was probably the best. It also makes it easier when they're playing the way they're playing, because you kick it up and it's really on that guy to just make a decision. And again, obviously we've got unselfish guys, so it's not about one guy trying to get points or rebounds or assists or whatever it is. And when we play like we did tonight and move the ball, we had a few of those possessions that we usually see on whatever Instagram page it is, talking about Jazz basketball, and we're moving the ball, and then obviously someone's usually making a shot at the end of it. So just making a quick decision, being good with that. Like if you want to shoot it, shoot it. If you want to pass it, but just making a confident read on what you want to do.